Hey guys, welcome back this week. And all sorts of things have just appeared on screen.
Oh, what kinds of on-screen
what kinds of
are
things?
you encountering? Yeah.
The wrong overlay being pulled.
Nice.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. How does that make you feel?
You know, it would be better if things just worked. So we're here on episode 57. Ignore that it says 31. The computer's just being stupid.
Oh yeah, that's super neat.
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty cool.
I can't explain to you how much I hate technology these days. Today especially. But I am Sandra, aka Miko, and I'm joined this week by Aaron.
As usual.
Yeah. Rowan's off recuperating. So we're here, and we've got Ring of Fire stuff to talk about.
So much Ring of Fire. So many rings, so much fire.
So many rings, so much fire. Yes. It's just, that's how it is. So, I don't know, what have you been doing this week, Aaron?
Playing Guild Wars 1 with you.
That's basically been our week, yeah. Our game.
Yeah,
I know that's been my game time this week.
I've logged into Guild Wars 2 for dailies, but mostly working this week, so I didn't get a lot of time to play.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have been, when I've gone in, I've just done Guild Wars 1. I haven't even done Guild Wars 2 anything. I've been dealing with a migraine cycle that's left me pretty wiped out. So I'm kind of functioning off of adrenaline.
Yeah, we've been showing off all the kind of Season 3 pertinent things in Guild Wars 1 this week on our Twitch channel.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Been a fun time.
It has been a fun time.
We did Lazarus stuff yesterday and then Ring of Fire the day before.
I ran the Ring of Fire mission, and I finished it with 60% death penalty on normal mode.
Yeah.
You know, they're kind of mean. There were a lot of things that were hitting me, and we just rolled with it. I need one of those things that I'll be doing when my energy level's back is highlighting those, because those are fun. We'll have those saved on our channel.
Yeah, hopefully.
Here on Twitch. So, one of the things that we noticed last night with Guild Wars 1 is that a lot of grog has been dropping in Guild Wars 1, and that piratey theme has been carried over into Guild Wars 2, because it's Talk Like a Pirate Day is coming up?
Yeah,
or is it just
September
Pirate Week?
19th, so next Monday, I want to say.
Oh, my calendar's gone. Yeah. I know in Guild Wars 1 it's from the 13th until I think the 20th. It might be till next maybe the 19th.
Yeah, it's till next Tuesday in Guild Wars 1.
Mhm. So, pirates, they're the thing.
Yep.
And we saw in the trailer, that epic trailer that came out, that looks like there might be some pirate script.
I know, right? I thought that was kind of interesting that they were sort of putting a new spin on the script.
Mm-hmm.
It reminds me of what they did with the Quaggan pirates in Lornar's Pass.
Mm-hmm. Alright. So, in Guild Wars 2, in the gem store, you can find a pirate hook and a peg leg. They are now available. What do we think of these, Aaron? You checked them out. I know I have not been able to check them out.
Yeah, I don't there's a link to them in the show notes. I don't like these items. So the Kurzik Dual Axe is in the store, and that's alright looking. Like, it looks really gothic, like the Kurzik stuff generally does. It has these weird orange tendrils on it that remind me a lot of Kanaxai's axe from Guild Wars 1, but Kanaxai was a boss in the Luxon area. So I don't know why the orange tendrils are on there, because it really makes it look like that, but the overall design of the axe is super Kurzik, so I like that. I wouldn't necessarily buy it, but I like how Kurzik it is. But God, guys, the pirate peg leg and hook just are not on point.
Pirate gloves and boots, right? This is the hook and the peg. That peg leg, that's not very peggy.
No, it's too thick. It's way too thick.
It's like a pirate stump.
Yeah, and the hook isn't hooky, and the the apparatus attaching the hook to the hand is like all steampunk, and I don't know. I don't like any of it.
It looks.
I'm not on board.
It's like it has a bit of a Star Wars mechanical hand feel thing.
Well, what it feels like to me
know.
is, did you ever watch the Treasure Island adaptation, Treasure Planet?
God, no.
You did? Oh man, it's so good. You should watch
really?
it. Yeah, it's amazing. But it reminds me a lot of that, but bad.
All right.
Which isn't, if you haven't watched it, that's not an apt description at all. But it's, yeah, it feels like they were going for something a little more space age, and they just missed the mark with it. And now it.
I was expecting a bit more hook, and this just feels like a skeletal hand, basically.
Yeah,
a limb.
It doesn't feel piratey. They missed the mark on making it piratey. So
it's a shame, because I usually like their pirate things.
Yeah, they have a good eye patch.
Yeah, the eye patch is
actually,
pretty good.
the pirate outfit itself is a good outfit. It tends to look good.
Which pirate outfit is this? Is this the?
Yeah, there's a pirate outfit.
I believe you.
Yeah.
I don't remember it.
It's on the gem store.
Wow. Theme yourself out.
Yeah, it's really piratey. You should go buy it.
I shall have to check it out.
Yeah.
So, other things that are in the gem store are where my notes go. Well, the Kurzik dual axe, as Aaron mentioned, and Molten weapon skins are available again for Black Lion tickets. Now, these things, when they were last in, they were like 7 Black Lion tickets. They cost a bunch of gold on the trading post. So, if you don't want to shell out gold, and you'd rather pay real money and try the lottery for the Black Lion tickets, they cost 4.
So Sandra, I have a problem with with these weapon skins, and can you guess what it is?
They're the Molten ones?
Yeah.
No, I don't know what you'd be having a problem with. They're kind of cool.
They look bad.
What do you mean they look bad?
Yeah,
they're like one of the most expensive Black Lion skins in the game. What are you talking about?
They're expensive because they cost 7 tickets, and now they cost 4.
But, yeah, but everyone likes
they look
them.
good.
Oh,
They are not
on.
worth, guys. These were not worth 7 when they came out, and they are not worth 4 now.
Okay, look. If they weren't worth 7 or the hundreds of gold that each of them cost, why are people putting them up for that? Because people, know how the economy is.
People are very simple-minded. People
No.
People see fire. People are like, "Oh, there's fire on it. That means it's cool," and they'll buy it because they have no actual sense of dress.
Are you trying to say that your fashion sense in Fashion Wars 2 is better than everyone else's?
Oh, absolutely. That's a no-brainer.
No.
That's
Okay.
very clearly true. No, the Molten weapons are not good enough to be worth.
I disagree.
Worth 4 tickets.
I disagree. They're awesome. Go check them out.
No, they're not good.
We will respectfully agree to disagree.
They're like discount Flame Legion weapons. Like the knockoff Flame Legion weapons you get at the dollar store.
At the dollar store, you can buy flame. Right? Okay.
Yeah. The shield's all right. I'd take the shield. That's the only one though.
Maybe the shield will work on your Revenant without clipping.
I'm just looking at them to make sure I'm thinking of the same set. Yeah, I don't like them.
All right.
The shield's about the only one.
I like them, and so do a bunch of other people. So, you can choose to follow whoever's advice and go buy or not buy.
Follow my advice. Don't buy them.
I know what I'm talking about. All right. So that's kind of and that Phoenix Glider is back for 2 weeks. Just 2 weeks, and then there's Rolling Things. Dolphy's got a good list of everything that's in that link that I put into Twitch chat. These will be up on the show notes whenever our website comes back, which I'll be talking about later. Yeah.
Spoiler alert, it's all Rowan's fault. 100%. In fact, 200%. 200% Rowan's fault.
He's not happy with our web host these days. I totally don't blame him. They're being silly. All right. So there are rolling sales as have been happening. So go check it out. Press O, as Evan Nashwade likes to tell us in his blog posts.
Yeah.
In community news, Nike, DNT, Nike from Death and Taxes Guild, has started a new series on the shifting PvE meta, focusing on raids. This is why I was kind of hoping Rowan would be up to being on this episode today, but, we're going to have to YOLO. It's actually a kind of interesting series. He starts off episode 1 with by talking about the death of the Elementalist meta, and he talks about some changes that are coming in with how Dragon Hunters are being used again, how Revenants are being used. So it's kind of interesting, just as a way to kind of keep up with how things are changing if you're a raider or you want to min-max.
Weren't Death and Taxes the guild that got kicked from the raid beta for breaking NDA? Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yes.
Just
but they still do raid. They still do raid, and they do a lot of guides and things. So, so Nike's one of the ones that has been known for putting out min-max good advice content. So I will stick a link to that in our Twitch chat. I turned off my screensaver and it just keeps turning on.
Why would you have a screensaver? It's 2016, Sandra. What are you doing?
Dude, I don't know.
Is it the one with the pipe? Is it the one with the pipes?
Nah, dude, I got bubbles. Bubbles, man, bubbles.
Pipes for life. Pipes for life.
Pipes for life.
Yeah.
In other community news, so Matthew Medina, who is one of the game devs, he goes by Barefoot Matthew on Twitter. He has he's released the Orion and Crichton syllabaries. He's put them on his DeviantArt. Mm-hmm. And our favorite community data miner / programmer, that Shaman. Mr. Shaman. He does get a Mr. because he's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
He's put together a syllabary translator tool. It's a web app. And I'll be sticking this link in our Twitch chat here. So if you want to try to translate your own Orion, it's good for role players. But also if you run into things across the game, give it a whirl.
It's helpful for me when I'm streaming and I'm like, guys, I wonder what this thing says. Oh well, let's move on. That's what it's for, guys. Let's be honest.
So, yeah, it's cool that he's always putting together these little programs.
I know. Have you ever noticed that he's like really good at what he does? Like he just like overnight he's like, oh, I made this app. It's pretty.
Yeah.
It's pretty quick, right? It makes me wonder if they've ever offered him a job, like on the web development end.
I don't know.
Because it seems like a no-brainer.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Get this.
Maybe that's why I'm not in charge of ArenaNet, but I think they should offer him a job.
If you were in charge of ArenaNet, we wouldn't have those molten weapon skins.
No, we wouldn't. We would have something much more visually appealing. Mm-hmm. And it wouldn't cost 4 tickets.
All right, moving on.
Full circle.
Full circle, yes. So that's kind of the game news front. Or not the game news, I'm sorry, community news front. News was a bit slow this week. But the big news...
I was going to say, I wouldn't call it slow.
I'd say it's Gem Store community news. It was a bit short. Whatever's blown everyone's mind is all of the Living World stuff, which is finally blowing
Living World news is real this week.
Mm-hmm. One of the things before we get into our Living World stuff is that Revive orbs are getting a rework coming in with this next patch.
Mm-hmm. I did hear about this.
And if you want to, read up on it, you can go pop over to Massively OP and get a nice little quick summary. Essentially, go ahead.
I just hope part of the rework is us being able to delete them without typing their name in.
You don't use them, right? That's right. You don't use them.
Yeah, that would be fantastic. I delete most Black Lion items I get.
Well, see,
the only ones I keep are the salvage kits.
Resorbs I keep on hand because I am a gem Black Lion key buyer. Res orbs are one of the things that I had a lot of out of Black Lion chests. So I do have a stack of them around, and I do use them because they can come in handy sometimes.
I feel like the only situation that they come in handy is when you're fighting a difficult boss at the end of a dungeon, and you've gotten it down to maybe like 50 to 25% health, and you don't want to restart that fight. Then I could see using it. Like Clockheart is basically the only boss I would use a res orb with. Otherwise, they're all face roll easy or raid bosses. So
well, and in raid you can't res.
Exactly. So I see the scenario for using them being so small, because I don't like doing Clockheart, that
well, that's you. But I find them useful, I should say, in dungeons when I run them, which isn't often.
I need that inventory slot for champion bags.
When I'm out in the open world and there's like no one around on a map, and I'm like, I don't want to go to that waypoint because it's far away, and I just need to get to the thing that's like right next to me, I'll use a res orb. Because,
I guess.
You know.
Maybe.
So, what they're doing is returning you to 50% of your health pool instead of 1 health point. This is lovely. And that res sickness that would basically leave you crippled and just walking, they're doing away.
Thank God, because that was pretty much
that was the most annoying. Yeah, that was the most annoying thing.
Because you just use it and then you die again, and it's like, thanks, ArenaNet. I really appreciate that.
Yeah. It's alright if you're on a ranger, which I tend to play a lot. Or anyone that does a lot of ranged weapons, because you can still fire off your skills if need be. But yeah. So I'm looking forward to that. Although they are getting rid of the ghostly caretaker, which, made me feel like somebody out there cared.
Yeah.
Whenever he'd show up to res, it's like, thanks, man. Now he's being replaced with an orb vortex that circles above your body and fills in for the 10 seconds it takes to revive.
Okay.
Yeah. It's like, oh, that's my little filler.
Yeah, I will miss Scallywag guy.
Scallywag guy was nice.
He wore the Scallywag armor set, so he's Scallywag guy.
Yeah. Yep. So that's coming. If you have not been playing the current events. Size, Bernhardt.
I've been following them, but not actively going in and doing the achievements.
Right.
Because I don't like achievements.
Okay, I'm gonna ignore that because you've got a lot of achievement points. So.
I don't seek them out. It's just because I played the game a lot.
Yeah.
I'm not like, oh, I want to get my next. No, I don't.
Yeah. I will only become an achievement hunter if I'm close to obtaining a chest. And then I'm like,
yeah, exactly. If I'm like 50 points away,
if
I'm 50 points away from a chest, I'll go do Slayer achievements until I have it.
I've got most of the Slayer achievements. I just need giants, I think I need to kill some crabs. But so
I don't do them so that I have them to do when I need them.
Yeah.
Smart.
Yeah. or something. So Size Bernhardt has moved. Her last appearance for the achievement in current events she was in South Sun. And now she's no longer there. She is down in Malcor's Leap.
Malcor's Leap.
And this is a cool little... I'm going to pull up somebody in our... Who was it? Somebody in one of our streams the other night gave this link to us.
The dialogue.
The dialogue, yes. They gave us a screen cap of dialogue. So what you've got here is Size kind of going, magic, things traveling in this general direction. Where might we be going? I thought I'd washed my claws of this mess, but seems I'm caught in the flow too. What do you mean? Magic is still moving, warping around something down there. Headed out to sea. I don't even want to think it, but you can guess what's capable of that. An Elder Dragon. All the way from the Shiver Peaks. That far down in the depths, even below the water, I'd wager. Below the water. That's kind of scary. We're only seeing the wake behind it. So, dude, Primordius is real. That's basically the in-game clue that Primordius is moving, and we're headed to an island out in the sea, which is the Ringfire Island chain. So there we go. I'm glad that they put something in instead of just having players rely on external sources for information.
Yeah.
External game sources.
Yeah, I just think it's funny that if you remember, like 2 podcasts ago, before Ring of Fire was announced, and Sace was still doing her thing in the game.
Mm-hmm.
We're speculating like, I think she might be going to Mount Maelstrom and like stuff like that.
Yeah,
it's
but
kind of funny.
But it's cool that they've got him trekking to somewhere volcano-y and full of lava. I mean, we talked about this last time.
Yeah.
Last week. But Ring of Fire, that map. What did you think of the trailer?
The trailer was really cool. You know, I felt like it invoked. It gave you the proper feel for the map. The map, from what we've seen in the trailers and the behind the scenes video, feels like Ring of Fire from Guild Wars 1. Obviously, it's updated quite a bit. One thing I was a little disappointed in is all the faces in the rocks that you can see in the trailer are like really mean skulls. Whereas in Guild Wars 1, they were a lot more varied. Some of them were like open-mouthed and wailing. Some of them weren't skulls. They were just faces. Some of them had really distorted expressions on their faces.
Yeah.
I feel like they had a little more character in Guild Wars 1 compared to what we've seen from Guild Wars 2 so far. I'm interested to get into the zone to see if maybe they just put skulls in the trailer because skulls are hype. I don't know.
It's what we being you and I were talking about in our stream. I think it was last week. That we wanted to see the skulls again. We wanted to see some kind of carryover between the zone, what we knew prior in Guild Wars 1 and what we see now. Some of the skulls have horns on them now. Did you notice that? I didn't remember that from Guild Wars 1.
Well, if you remember when we were doing the Abaddon's Mouth mission, I took a screenshot of some skulls, and I'm actually going to find it here, that were directly over the Onyx Gate. And if I remember correctly, they had some horns on them.
Okay. So I wonder if we'll be seeing those again. Yeah,
so there are some horned skulls flanking the gates to the Inner Sanctum of the Onyx Gate in the Abaddon's Mouth mission in Guild Wars. So the horned skulls are definitely a thing, just not nearly as prominent in Guild Wars 1 as they are in 2.
Yeah.
But we'll see how it turns out.
I was really impressed by the quality of this trailer. I feel like they are really improving the quality of their Living World trailers with each one. And for a little, not even 60-second spot, it's like 50-something, 53. They pack a lot of things into the editing. The editing, I think, is what really makes it. But yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
In the trailer, we see Script Pirate. We see destroyers, so things that we're kind of expecting to see. Lava falls. And this winged... I want to say it's like a winged harpy. Is it an ember? I remember seeing... Don't we have a winged little dragon... Not dragon. Ugh. Words are hard. Down in Kessex Hills, I think it is, where we're fighting destroyers, and we've also got like these... I think they're called embers.
Embers are there. Destroyer harpies are also a thing.
Okay.
They're like little winged birdie like destroyers. Yeah, it's definitely I don't think it's a new item, but yeah, I think you're right. I think it's an ember. It might be renamed, but they rename the same skin enemy all the time, so it's not a big deal.
And we also saw in this trailer, I've got it playing here. Some more like dinosaur creatures coming back.
Yeah, I think I saw Stonehead in the behind the scenes I think you can see its face in the main trailer too.
Yeah. Coming up on
weirdly at first when I saw that trailer I thought it looked like Gorseval. And I was like, Gorseval's dead, stop it. But no, it's
right.
I'm pretty sure it's a Stonehead. Yeah.
Yeah, so, what am I doing? I'm gonna do that. Do you think we're gonna get any new enemy types?
Yes. So the fireworm you see in the trailer is not a thing that's in the game currently. Like, we have worms, but we don't have that fire version that is actually from Guild Wars 1. You had big, huge fire siege worms on the Ring of Fire island chain. So that's kind of
Why don't I remember these?
Because we didn't run into any. You have to sometimes they spawn and sometimes they don't.
Okay.
You have to trigger their spawn point. I don't think we ever ran over it when we did our Vanquish, but yeah, they're on there.
Okay.
And so that's kind of a Guild Wars 1 throwback. And there's also the possibility of we could possibly get things like, I think I saw, there's a Karka in the trailer, so Karka will be on the island. There are some monsters from Guild Wars 1 that we haven't seen in game before that could possibly show up on this island, like Hydras. Hydras are the big one that everyone's wondering about, because Hydras were present in, from what I remember, in Ascalon, Ring of Fire, and the Crystal Desert in Guild Wars 1. And obviously we don't have Hydras in Ascalon, but that could totally be attributed to the Char just wiping out the population because they were annoying.
Yeah.
Because that's certainly something the Char would do. But no, they could totally... They're the type of creature that is so big and ferocious and mean that they would still be around on this island even after the cataclysm, or after Zaitan's rise from the ocean. So I hope we see the Hydras on this island.
Zlint brings up in chat that there were green destroyers in the behind-the-scenes video they released today.
Are there?
I am gonna replay this now because
I
didn't catch the. I was too busy paying attention to Josh Foreman being like, "It's all metal, man. This is my thing." Right. You know, he was so hyped about making this zone like all heavy metally with the skulls.
Green Destroyer.
Well, I noticed at in the behind the scenes video that they put out today, in one of the opening shots where it looks like basically a dock, it looks quite built up. Like that. I suppose that they, they're just going to say like, oh, well, this kind of a construction happened before you got here, guys.
First people on the ground built a dock, that sort of thing.
What got me was that it felt a bit polished. Like, this looks like it's been here for a while, not like just, not hastily put together, but, I mean, I know magic is a thing, but still, I would have liked to see something a bit more raw and not as pretty.
The wood looks like it's got some age to it. Yeah.
So, I wonder if, my question that went into my head was, is this reused? Was this dock just built by whatever the Pact will say, or
and they just transported the dock there?
Yeah, or
a giant dock ship.
Or is this something that could show us that maybe someone or something has been chilling on that island for a while?
Well, there are remnants of civilization on that island, because like Ember Light Camp in Guild Wars 1, that's got a dock and stuff, and that's from there used to be pirate settlements on the edge of the Ring of Fire, so that could possibly be what this is from, because the Corsairs did used to dock at the Ring of Fire.
Slent is being very helpful. He says it's at minute 216 to minute 220 when they're showing off the new mastery, which just actually came on my feed. Yeah, that new mastery, let me tell you how excited I am about that new mastery. We were talking just a couple of episodes ago, right? Or last week. And thermal propulsion, it sounds like it might just work like New Hawk Wallows, load screen, boo, boring.
Oh, yeah.
How cool would it be if they just shot you across the map? And it looks like they're shooting us across the map.
Yeah, there's a green destroyer there for like a half a frame. You have to be really quick on your pause button to see it. That's super weird.
Oh, wow.
I don't know what the deal with that is. I'm trying to think what sort of green influences, for want of a better term, do we have in this season of the Living World? I mean, Mordramoth's dead. I don't know what that is.
Do you think...
Poison doesn't turn them green, does it?
Yeah, Zlint says there are a couple of them. No, I don't think poison turns them green. I mean, it looked like the skinning on them looked like it was native to the destroyer.
Mm-hmm.
Like the fire skinning on them looks native to the destroyers. So...
oh, wow, yeah, there's a whole field of them. That's weird.
So,
I don't know. It's like it could have something to do with their preview engine too, or their preview build rather. Yeah, if they make it into the game, I hope they explain why they're green. That's pretty weird.
I'm hoping. Yeah. That we've had this question come up about what effect these dragons dying would have on the world. I mean, we've seen the surge of magic.
Yeah.
I don't know.
I don't know. I don't know what the deal. Yeah, I mean, Bloodstone might be the obvious answer, but wouldn't that make them all red? But I guess they're already pretty orangey, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe the.
It's okay. I know it's been one of those long weeks for us.
I've been working since 6 a.m. today. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's one of those like the Ring of Fire Bloodstone makes things green. That would be kind of weird, but it's the only thing I can think of. I don't know.
I wonder if they would have
dragon magic.
Dragon magic.
That's usually our explanation, right?
Zlint says apparently one of the people who got a sneak peek said some of the destroyers got hit with magic when Morty died, but who knows? One of the people who got a sneak peek. Do you have a source on that, Zlint? Because I'd be interested in seeing that.
Yeah,
Because I know that.
I mean,
are you talking about? Go ahead.
They were in like the destroyers that are around like Radisum and that other place, Caledon Forest. I guess they are in proximity to Mordramoth. So.
Wow, this is like blowing my mind.
Yeah, do you know who said that? Like one of the people who got a sneak peek?
If it was one of the articles that came out last week, and I know there were several, and I know I didn't get to read all of them.
Yeah, I didn't.
I'd be interested to get a link on that, so we can throw in our notes, our show notes for when this goes up on our site. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm kind of thinking, I don't know what I'm thinking. I don't know. They're blowing my mind, though. That's for sure. If we start seeing things that are, more effects of magic because of these dragons, it's, she's going to be real.
Yeah, I'm definitely curious to see why the destroyers are green. I don't know what the deal is.
Yeah.
Interesting.
For sure. Other things that stood out to you from the either trailer, behind the scenes?
I'm trying to think here. I liked I don't know how I feel about the pirate Skrit. Like, Skrit are cool, but they're also kind of annoying. I'm kind of sick of them. They're always there. Like, no matter where we go, there's a new Skrit thing going on. So, maybe they should, like, why can't we have a Quaggin thing going on the Ring of Fire, Why does it always have to be Skrit?
You know what I would be interested... Yeah, I'd be interested to see, like, if they were to ever to do something with the Quaggin, I'd like to see more Quaggin go into rage mode.
Yeah, like that was a big selling point about the Quaggin at launch, and it only really came into effect for a few skill points that we do, and that's about it.
And one of the... If you do in the personal story, you get to research, that's the word, explore, and research the Quaggin race. You get to meet one of the Quaggin who chooses to go into rage mode and isn't this, cutesy, Quaggin.
Yeah.
But embraces the rage mode and lives apart from his tribe.
Yeah. Yeah, I definitely like to see, like, maybe the Pact starts, like, employing some rage mode Quaggins to do its work. That'd be kind of cool. Mm-hmm. I mean, I guess we're not really with the Pact anymore, but I'm sure we haven't seen the last of them.
I'm sure. I'm sure we're going to keep running into them. But the Karka being on the island, I mean, I know the Karka, they talked about the Karka being displaced when, let's see, was it when Ore rose or when Zaitan started moving? And that basically explains how they ended up on South Sun. But to see them on Ring of Fire Island chain, I guess it makes sense. It's an island, why wouldn't it? It's not that far from South Sun that they'd show up.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense more than any other location, because all the other locations that surround South Sun are inhabited by, like, civilization. So the Karka wouldn't be able to make a home there, but the Ring of Fire is destitute. So it makes sense that the Karka could roam there with impunity. And actually, I don't know if you watched Wooden Potatoes trailer analysis. Did you?
I don't think I think I missed that one this week.
He made a good point about the Karka in that they're the type of monster that would be able to survive on the Ring of Fire. You know, they're very tough. They're very brutal to fight. So, like with their armor and stuff like that. So they're definitely the type of monster. They're huge, so they could hold their own with the crazy creatures that show up on the Ring of Fire.
Yeah, Cordovan asks in chat, there were several articles. I've only seen the one at MMORPG and never found more. Yeah, MMORPG had one. Massively OP had another.
I only read the MMORPG one as well. But
there were like 3 or 4, which I'm going to have to go back and find the links for. I know I have them saved somewhere. But what I'll do for when we publish the show notes for this episode, I'll put all of those links in there. Let me make a note of this because, you know, I may forget in my migraine state. Ring of Fire links. Okay. Yeah. What else? There was something else I was going to bring up.
You were going to bring up something else. I was wondering about some monsters that some other people, like, everybody seems to get really hung up on the Hydras, but there are a few other things that could pop up in the Ring of Fire that we haven't seen in Guild Wars 2 yet, like the Driders. I don't know if you remember our Vanquish last week, but we were fighting a lot of Driders on in Perdition Rock, and we don't have Driders in Guild Wars 2. I made sure of this yesterday. I wikied, and there are no Driders in Guild Wars 2, and they were all over the place in Guild Wars 1. So I'm wondering if the Driders will make a reappearance on the Ring of Fire, because the Ring of Fire has this unique thing of, like, in the rest of the core map, they can be like, oh yeah, civilization spread and drove out, you know, these monsters, exterminated them, whatever. The Ring of Fire doesn't have that problem. There's no civilization there, so whatever wildlife was there, as long as it survived Zaitan's rising, it would still be there theoretically. So I don't really see a reason for the Driders not to be there, other than they got wiped out by Zaitan or whatever.
Or the Karka.
Yeah, or the Karka, right? They could just be like, yeah, it's all Karka now. That would suck. But
I hope that, like, South Sun Cove for me is one of my least favorite zones because of the Karka. I know that there are people who play Guild Wars 2 that absolutely love South Sun Cove because of the Karka. I don't find the Karka fun. I don't think anybody loves South Sun because of the Karka. I'm going to be perfectly honest. I will just say that if we've got Karka on Ring of Fire, I hope they're, like, living in one little corner and don't mess up the entire island. Yeah, confine them somewhere.
Yeah, because I agree. South Sun Cove is, like, a really good-looking map. It's visually stunning. Yeah. But, oh man, it's just such a pain to traverse due to the Karka.
Yeah.
So yeah, I hope we're not overrun with Karka in Ember Bay.
I did like that it looked like they gave them a reskin for, like, the Fire Island Karka, that instead of barnacles, they've got, like, blisters. That was cool. I'm looking forward to seeing this in person.
Yeah, it's kind of cool that they made them, like, kind of flame burnished due to their location.
Yeah, exactly.
It's probably a good call.
And we mentioned the thermal propulsion, the new mastery. Have they said how many mastery points it's gonna take?
They
to get it.
haven't. The first one was only one mastery point, right?
Yeah, second
So-
tier is usually what? Like another two?
Usually three.
2 or 3?
2 or 3. Yeah, I think
probably-
it goes like 1, 3, 5, 8, 12.
Something like that, yeah.
Yeah.
So
I would say
it's,
it's 1, 3, 5, 8, 12.
so if you want to unlock that quickly, I wonder how much XP it's going to cost as well to like level up.
Now, is it going to cost? Here's an interesting question that I don't think anyone's brought up. This isn't in Maguma, and it's not in Corteria. What type of mastery point are we going to need to unlock this? Or do you think they'll add a new type of mastery, or do you think it'll just be a Maguma mastery point?
I would imagine it would be a Maguma mastery or a Heart of Thorns mastery, because this
I
is
guess,
technically
yeah, it could
under
be
Heart of
called-
Thorns.
It could be called a Heart of Thorns mastery, but yeah, because it's definitely, I don't know. It's interesting. Whatever the case, they did with Bloodstone Fen, they'll probably put enough mastery points on the map for you to be able to unlock the new mastery. As long as it's not Corteria, because I can't do any more Corteria.
I have a feeling it's going to be, it's because I mean they already put that new Ancient Magic. It's already under the Heart of Thorns mastery levels.
Yeah, so yeah, I guess because of that, it'll have to be Maguma mastery point. It just irks me that, I don't know, it's not in Maguma.
I know. Yeah, well, I've just been calling them Heart of Thorns mastery points because reasons.
That's more or less what they are.
Yeah. Cordovan in chat brings up, how about some Guild Wars 1 Abominations?
Oh yeah, because the Abominations from Guild Wars 1, the big shambling meat hunks,
Yeah.
for want of a better term. Yeah, those could definitely show up. Also, there's the
Or the cousins of the flesh golems.
yeah,
Those.
there's
Yeah,
the what are those things called? The phantoms. There's the phantoms that are on that island that kind of look like
the nightmare.
translucent squid. Yeah, and then there's also the possibility of Eidolons being there, which were the monsters you would kill in Guild Wars 1 to get Spectral Essence to infuse your armor against the Mursat, which ties together, you know what I'm saying? That should be a thing. We should infuse our armor on the Ring of Fire against the Mursat. That would be
But the only
perfect.
Mursat that we know is around is Lazarus the Dyer. So are we going to be seeing a full-on revival of the Mursat? I don't know.
No,
I have
don't
my
think we're-
doubts.
But listen, if we ever have to fight Lazarus, we better not go in there without an infusion. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Also, I know they've tied countering Spectral Agony to the Mastery, which is a huge bummer. But it would be cool to see maybe, I don't know. I want the whole infusion and the Eidolon thing to be back in the game. Put it back in the game. Like, there were Eidolons on the Ring of Fire, so we should do it.
But I mean, do you think that 250 years have passed?
Yeah.
Right, or 250 plus now have passed since Guild Wars 1, so we don't need these same mechanics, I guess.
Yeah, but in the lore, like, by the way, this ancient magic's mastery totally just throws lore out the window. Like,
He kind of retcons things, yes.
yeah, it's like, oh, infusions? No, you can just hit this little square and Spectral Agony doesn't hurt.
Counter magic.
My thing is, I don't know, because the Jade constructs, right? They're the only things we're seeing Spectral Agony from right now. And I want him to have a loophole like, oh, that's only the Jade constructs that were reanimated by the Bloodstone. Their Spectral Agony isn't like the legit Spectral Agony that you'll get from Lazarus the Dyer, you know? I'd like for us to have to do the infusion thing if we need to fight Lazarus. I don't know that we're ever going to. Like, it still remains to be seen whether we'll ally or we'll be allied with him or against him. But if we ever have to fight him, I want to see the infusion thing come back.
Now, the thing that really surprised me last night from our stream, when we did the Lazarus the Dyer quest chain in Guild Wars 1, was how little fanfare Lazarus the Dyer got.
Yeah.
At the end of that chain, it's like, oh, ho-hum, he went off, blah, blah. And, you just kind of move on with life.
Like, people get so hype over Lazarus, but his only, the only line that inspires all the hype behind him is that one line at the very end of the quest where he wishes vengeance upon countless generations. That's the only pertinent line of dialogue in, that whole quest chain. I mean, it's kind of cool that he can split himself. He can essentially Horcrux himself. That's kind of cool. Like, that's interesting magic that we're not really familiar with in the franchise, that we haven't seen replicated. But those are kind of the only two interesting lore bits, other than the fact that it's possible to undo that magic via what the Asura Glaven came up with to kind of expel him. And it doesn't, like, you can't break the spell because Naveed still dies, but you can kind of reverse the
engineer
effects, upon Lazarus. So there's a little bit of cool magic lore there, but mostly, it's just that line at the end of the quest that's like, oh, that's cool. Okay.
Yeah, I hadn't been aware, or I guess I hadn't realized it, that he had been kind of he'd gone under the radar there. It felt like in Eye of the North.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden, hey, he's back. He's, the major reason for the raid story, basically, after Sabbatha. But yeah, and now he's back and causing trouble. I don't know. I would like to. I know we've talked about this already. Being able to see the ruins of the Mersat, but I wonder how much of an impact he's going to have.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, they did in the trailer, I think it sounds like the Sylvari NPC saying he absorbed all of the magic from the exploding bloodstone or something like that in the trailer for Rising Flames. So if he can suck in all of that kind of magic, I mean, we've seen this before with, like, who was it? Cormier in Nightfall.
I mean, definitely different scenario, though.
Yeah.
She absorbed magical fallout from the death of a...
Abaddon, right? Of a god.
Of a god. Definitely not the same as the Bloodstone ritual. But it's magical absorption, but... It's
magical absorption, yeah. I think there's going to be something in with this, where I can't... This green destroyer thing that's brought up now is just blowing my mind, because it's like, if that magic is doing other things from these dead dragons, we're gonna need help.
I know, and we've known this since season 2, but people are still like, yeah, let's kill the Elder Dragons. I don't know.
I know you want to take them all on, but I think I've been saying for the past several months.
No, I don't necessarily want to take them all on. I simply don't want to be fighting them anymore. I don't want them to... I just want to...
You don't want to be beholden to them.
Yeah, I don't care what you do. I don't care how cheesy the writing is to make it happen. I don't care if they're like, oh, the Elder Dragons are our friends now. Just on a dime, boom. I would take it just to not have to fight them anymore. I'm so done with them.
Well, we still got that egg.
I know. Like, yeah, if they just made the egg hatch and it was like, hey, I'm a good guy, Elder Dragon. I'm gonna subjugate all the other ones and we'll all be happy now. That would be great. Like, even as terrible as that is on the writing end, I would be in.
I just think it's gonna. I don't know. It's gonna take something. We're gonna need to find something big in order to take them on, either one at a time. I mean, we've seen that as well. Zaitan, we were able to kind of shut off his source of magic, and Mordemoth, well, we kind of killed him, and he was still pretty tough.
Mm-hmm.
So there's differing levels of how powerful they were, but I don't know. There's more magic. There's more to be soaked up.
I'd also love to see Lazarus the Dire like just solo kill an Elder Dragon. That'd be sweet.
I know. Solo kill and do a Legolas on him.
Yeah, like this dragon, just like Primordus, right? He just bursts up out of the volcano and Ring of Fire, and he's like standing there in all his magnificence, and then Lazarus just like Jedi swipes him, just dies. Be fantastic.
Now you'd brought up that the Mersat can shift between, was it dimensions?
They can phase out of reality.
Reality, okay.
Into another part of the mists. So yes, essentially dimension travel, and that keeps them safe from whatever they want, basically.
So so technically there should still be some around.
The only caveat to that is if anyone who's ascended can their phase out doesn't work on. And I think that was the deal with the Titans, is the Titans, their phase out doesn't work against the Titans, which is why the Titans were the perfect entity to exterminate them. I believe that's how that lore goes. Otherwise they would have just phased out and been good to go. But yeah, that's how that works. I don't know that we're, like, everybody wants us to get ascended. I feel like it might be useful if we ever have a fight with Lazarus. Otherwise, he could just kind of avoid us with impunity. But I also feel like Guild Wars 2 is coming up with a lot of workarounds for Guild Wars 1 lore, like the counter magic that chat is talking about and stuff like that. So I don't know that we'll be getting ascended just because that's a human god thing. So I bet there will just be like, oh, this Asura came up with it, because in Guild Wars 1, what we actually did was an Asura named, I believe it was Zin and Blim. I believe they worked together on this. They reverse engineered a Seeker's
corpse
DNA.
Yeah.
To develop protection against the Mersat. So what I bet we would end up doing is we'd end up unearthing that research and using that. That would be what I bet would give us our Mersat protection, not getting ascended.
Okay.
Yep.
That's your theory. You're sticking to it.
Yeah. I was mentioning the Eidolon thing earlier. I don't think we're going to do the Eidolon and the infusion and stuff. I think they're just going to find Zin's old research on that, Zin and Blim's old research on that, and work from there on safeguarding us against the Mersat's power. That's my bet.
And the thing that is on the Ring of Fire is that Door of Kamali.
Yes, the Door of Kamali that we gabbed about so much last episode.
I don't think we're safe. We've got that. I'm thinking that magical seal is not going to hold.
It all depends on how many rabbit holes they want to open up with this season of the Living World, because they've already got a lot of plot threads open, right?
Yeah.
Do they really want to bring the Realm of Torment into this as well?
That's
a huge undertaking.
It feels like they're kind of throwing a lot of things, like new things at us. Like they had all of these plot threads from season 2 that they have still left out dangling, right? We still haven't picked up many, if any, of those yet. And now we've got the Mersat are back there, as Cordovan says, they're all more or less dead according to lore, but there might be some hiding. Well, there's that little maybe. Well, we can bring a little bit more back. We've got Lazarus back now. What's he going to be doing? He can absorb a lot of magic. Yeah,
I was going to say that's really why they do these things. Like, they never confirm anything is extinct or anything like that, because, if they bring the Mersat back, now they probably need to bring at least one seer back. So we're probably going to go find a seer at some point in Living World Season 3. I'd bet on it. And but yeah, they're right. They are more or less extinct. There's probably at least one left for us to find, though.
Just one? Besides Lazarus? I don't know.
I could see them. I could see them being like, there's this one left, and this one random person out in the middle of nowhere knows where to find him and stuff, because that's how they tell stories in Guild Wars 2. And it really is like, it's a lot more prevalent in the personal story than in Living World. Yeah. But when you're just like, I know this one guy is out here, and you talk, and yeah, it's very A to B to C to D.
Yeah, we're in the realm of we're kind of trying to guess what they're saying, what might be coming. So let's move into the realm of what a little bit more concrete. In the behind the scenes trailer or video that came out today, they had Josh Foreman talking about the new jumping puzzle. And he mentioned that he doesn't, contrary to popular belief, he doesn't actually like designing hard puzzles.
I don't believe him.
I don't believe him either. But he said that this map, he had reserved a space for it, for the jumping puzzle, and it deserved a challenging jumping puzzle, which he says appropriately gained its name, which is Chalice of Tears.
Yeah. I actually agree with him, even though I hate jumping puzzles and I won't be doing this one because I don't do any of them. I agree that the Ring of Fire should have a brutal jumping puzzle. Like, it's the Ring of Fire. It needs to be excruciating. They
showed while he was talking what I'm assuming to be sections of the jumping puzzle, and it looked to be easier jumps that I'm sure are just make up, one little slice, like maybe the beginning or something. I don't know. I'm looking forward to at least trying it. I am not a jumping person. I will be the first one to admit that I need help when it comes to the harder puzzles.
Yeah, I don't jump puzzle.
But I'll want to check this out just because I want to check it out.
I mean, I might glide around it for a bit, but I ain't getting the achievement.
I want to know too if the diving goggles that are going to show up on this map are going to be in any way tied to that jumping puzzle. You probably like. Let's be honest. I mean, I can see them doing something evil like they did with the Aether Blade jumping puzzle, putting that diving goggles above the puzzle, which is that's just mean.
Yeah, I think I've done that diving achievement just because my guild did it one night, but I don't jumping puzzle. I'm not gonna do it. Have fun, all you people who like tearing your hair out for hours. I mean, if that's what you enjoy, I'm not going to judge you.
No.
I personally like having fun with my free time. That's what I like to do.
So you go and farm the silver wastes.
Yeah, so I don't go to jumping puzzles. Is basically how you have fun is not go to jumping puzzles.
For you.
Yeah, for just life advice in general.
We need to have like a deep thoughts from Aaron's segment on this show, I think. Along with our music for our news segment that we keep talking about having and we never do.
This week in Guild Wars 2, jumping puzzles, not fun.
Oh man. Well, I don't know. I'm super excited. I'm glad that we've only got a couple more days left. What is it? 5 days left? 1, 2, 3,
yeah,
4, 5.
wow. It really is. Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Yeah, 5 days left. It's crazy.
It is crazy. We are going to be streaming our playthrough of episode 2 at 7 p.m. Pacific.
Yep.
Right
Are we
here.
gonna do it blind? Are we gonna do it blind again?
Yes. I'm not gonna play it beforehand.
I won't either.
All right, we'll go in.
I mean, I totally could, but I won't.
Yeah, I guess I could too, but I won't either. I want to play it. It was fun playing through episode 1 blind, so we'll do that for episode 2 again. A couple of housekeeping things. I did mention earlier that our website has been down since last Friday. That's why the show notes and the audio feed that goes out to iTunes and Google Play has not updated yet. Our server is it's taken down everything. Everything. So we're still working with our web host to get that back online because it's not anything that we did. It's totally their fault. And they're just dragging their feet.
Yep.
So hopefully that will be up soon, and we can. What I'll do is as soon as that site is back up, I'll have the show notes for episode 56, last week's show, and this one at 57 up on our site. 56 though, it is up on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/GuildMag, and as soon as we're done today, I'll also back up this episode and get that out onto our YouTube channel, so you can share that around with your friends who may have been, who may have missed the show because they're at work or something. So we'll be live streaming episode 2 on Tuesday. Aaron, you're gonna be running next Wednesday as well?
Yeah, I'm gonna do some Wednesday things.
All right. You're gonna finally are you gonna finally just gonna jump, grin and bear it, and just do Claw Island, or are you gonna just explore Ember Bay some more?
I don't know. I hate Claw Island so much, guys. I might continue postponing Personal Story to do more Ember Bay.
There you go.
be perfectly honest.
And we will be back next week with our thoughts on episode 2 on the podcast next Thursday at 1 p.m. 8 p.m. Pacific. 1 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. GMT, right here on twitch.tv/GuildMag. And I think we're going to call it a show. We will have our post show for those of you who are live. But for all of you who are watching this recorded, thanks for tuning in, and we'll see you next week. Bye.
Bye, guys.